Jason Rzucidlo reporting for AmericaJR.com, being joined by country singer Mark Chesnutt. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Very good. I want to start off by going back a few years. I understand your father was also a country singer. What advice did he give to you?
Best advice he gave me was not to move to Nashville, to stay here in Beaumont, Texas, and keep working the clubs. And, because I wanted to move to Nashville at an early age. And he told me, well, you move to Nashville, you're just going to be one of the thousands of singers, and you'll have to get 2 or 3 day jobs to support yourself, and where music would have to take a back seat. Well, here in Texas, I could make a living. I could sing 7 nights a week if I wanted to in the honky tonks, and made a damn good living at it. So that's what I did. I stayed here in Texas, playing in the clubs and learning my craft, if you want to call it that, and then going to Nashville and hanging out there every now and then. So it all worked out just like he said it would. And, that's the best piece of advice I could give young people out there. Listen to your daddy.
Yep, right. Congratulations on that. You've had many hit singles over the years. Which one is your favorite to perform?
One of my songs?
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite, oh God, I don't know. I get a kick out of doing all of them, but I guess if I have to pick one, I think Too Cold at Home is my favorite one, my very first hit. That's the song that brought me to this career. I found it in Nashville singing, meeting people, and I found the guy who wrote Too Cold at Home, gave it to me, and I recorded it in Texas. And because of that song, I had people from MCA coming down to Beaumont, Texas to see me. And that's how it all got started.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Can you give me some highlights of your latest album, Outlaw?
Well, the obvious high point in this album for me is Lovin Her Was Easier. Chris Christopherson song, and I had never sang that song until I recorded it. And which to me is, I've always thought the song was too deep for me. But turns out that it was just right for me. And, beautiful, well-written song. And to me, that's the high point of the whole album. But there's 12 songs, so maybe each listener's going to have their own.
And you also did songs from Waylon and Willie?
Oh yeah, there's some Willie and Waylon on there, and some Hank Jr. and some songs by Billy Joe Shaver. Just a lot of songs from the 70s and the 80s Outlaw era.
Okay. Now, how would you say this album is different from your previous works?
Well, this one was recorded in L.A. It was not done like all my other CDs. They were all done out in Nashville and recorded, with the same studio guys that we used on all the albums that we've had hits with. And this was done out in L.A. with Pete Anderson producing and playing most of the instruments. So this had a whole different feel to it.
Okay. What was it like performing with Joe Diffie and Tracy Lawrence?
Well, you mean the Rock and Roadhouse tour?
Yes.
Well, that was probably the best time I've ever had being on tour working with those guys. That was so much fun, with one band and the 3 of us on stage at the same time most of the night, and it was a hoot, man. We had a good time, and I don't see as much of them anymore, and I sure miss them because we sure had a great time.
Okay, so you're going on tour this summer, but I don't see any dates in Michigan. Any plans to come back to the area?
Oh, I'm sure something will pop up on the schedule there. It usually does. We usually hit Michigan once or twice a year, and and I hope we'll be up there soon. I love the weather y'all have there.
Oh, thanks. What do you think of some of the talent coming out of shows like Nashville Star and American Idol?
Well, I think so. some of them are great, you know. I think I'm glad to see that they have a launching pad, you know, available like that. We didn't have anything like that when I was coming up. You just had to, you know, take the bumpy road, you know. And I'm not saying that that's at all easy what they're doing, but you know, it's a good thing for a young talent to be seen and heard. And I mean, these guys are getting worldwide media attention, and then even the people who don't win. So I think it's a cool thing.
Okay. Now, what would your advice be to somebody looking to break into the industry?
Get an education first. You know, go to school, graduate, go to college, graduate. You know, get something else in mind and play music on the side. And because this day and time is totally different than it was 20 years ago when I started. You know, these days, if you make it in the music business, you're extremely, extremely lucky. And these days, it's even more so because there's more people trying to get into it. And, you know, it's harder to make a living these days without a great education. So if you got a good education, something to fall back on, music can't depend on. You know, you're here today, gone tomorrow, literally, in this business.
Yep. Anything else you would like to mention here today?
It's a really great album, and I'm really proud of this one, and I want everybody to go get it and give it a shot, and I think they'll be very happy with it.
All right, thanks a lot. It was nice speaking with you today.
Thank you.
Copyright 2010, AmericaJR.com, Detroit, Michigan, USA.